The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The biggest Aaron Rodgers hater is at it again with another baseless argument against the Jet quarterback. We will expose this reporter and talk about the state of the New York Jets. That and much more. Happy Sunday. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
They don't believe that they're the same old Jets.
I am 100% not falling for them again.
I think you've got a guy that's in love with the sport of football, and it was taken away from him.
I think it's going to be a mess.
He is in a point of life where he understands the pressure.
This team is in a position to win a championship.
3 games in 11 days to start.
I think they have the best roster, arguably, in the division.
Whether you love me or hate me, we are must-watch TV. Everybody knows that.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Today's Jake Asman Show is presented by my friends at HOMAGE. You see the shirt I'm wearing, the Broadway Joe shirt? It's right up there on your screen. Get the exact same shirt I'm wearing and any shirts from their Jets collectibles by simply scanning that QR code, and it will take you to the HOMAGE website. You, of course, can also just simply click the link in the description. Check it out. They have t-shirts, they have hoodies, they have shorts. It's all vintage inspired gear. Check it out from HOMAGE by using the link in the description, or simply, once again, pausing the show, taking out your phone and scanning that QR code. I'm telling you, they have some awesome vintage inspired Jet gear. Shout out to HOMAGE for being our newest sponsor here on the program. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, and shocking, a guy who famously had an issue with Aaron Rodgers winning an award that was voted on by his own teammates, a guy who was called Aaron Rodgers a con artist, had an issue with Aaron Rodgers, of course, missing the 2 days of mandatory minicamp. So if you watched Get Up earlier this week, this was Dan Graziano being asked a question by ESPN's Mike Greenberg.
Aaron Rodgers, a lot of talk about him missing the Jets' mandatory minicamp a couple of weeks ago. Graz, would it be an overreaction to say this was a bad sign?
No, it's not an overreaction. 31 starting quarterbacks made their mandatory minicamp. We don't know.
Bart doesn't buy it.
It's another Aaron Rodgers thing. So far in his time with the Jets, he has not made a contribution to winning, which is a phrase I borrowed from him. And he has been a distraction. Like he's been all about everything else. If he plays great and they win, then we'll forget all about it. If he doesn't, then it'll be very easy to point to this and say it was just another thing on the pile of non-football crap that has followed Aaron Rodgers around since he got to the Jets.
I mean, really? It's like almost too easy to expose how laughable of an attack this is against Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you really just sip through the quotes. Which one is the more absurd? Right? Which one's the more absurd? The 31 other quarterbacks made their mandatory minicamps. So are we going to bring up the fact that Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, for example, didn't go to every voluntary workout? Aaron Rodgers did. That won't get mentioned. Are we going to bring up the fact that Aaron Rodgers gave the Jets advance notice that he couldn't be at these 2 days? That won't be mentioned. Saying that so far his time with the Jets, he's not made a contribution to winning. He got hurt, dude. He got hurt on play 4. He hasn't made a contribution to winning. You think the New York Jets would be able to recruit some of the players they've added these last 2 years if they didn't have Rodgers at quarterback? You think Tyron Smith would be here on a 1-year deal for $6.5 million if they didn't have Aaron Rodgers? You think Mike Williams would have signed for a 1-year deal to play with Aaron Rodgers if they didn't have him? To say he hasn't helped contribute to winning. Have you seen the Jets' odds to win the Super Bowl? What would they be if they, I don't know, still employed Zach Wilson? Or let's say they went a different direction and signed Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo. The non-football crap has followed Rodgers around. Who talks about the non-football crap? Not the Jets, not their players, not the coaches. The non-football crap only gets talked about by the national media. For example, this is a segment on ESPN 2 weeks after minicamp already happened because they have nothing else to talk about. So it's let's smear Aaron Rodgers' name. Let's rip the Jets because it's easy. These people have no football storylines to talk about. So it's let's throw the Aaron Rodgers topic out there. Really? Are we going to bring up the fact that he had been at every voluntary workout and gave the Jets notice? No. Are we going to bring up Sauce Gardner's tweet where he basically went out there and said, are y'all really making a big deal over a Hall of Fame quarterback who's been at every voluntary workout, missing 2 days in June? Really? That won't get brought up. They won't play you the quote from DJ Reed. Why would they? Doesn't fit the narrative. It's so pathetic. The truth is, Mike Florio, Colin Cowherd, Jason LaCanfora, Mike Lombardi, Diana Rossini, Nick Wright, they needed something to talk about because it's June and they had nothing. That's what happened here. Let's call a spade a spade. Sauce Gardner tweeted, are y'all really making a big deal because a 15-plus year Hall of Fame quarterback missed 2 days of practice after being with the team all throughout phase 1, 2, and 3 of OTAs? That won't get brought up, though. Doesn't fit the narrative. It's so transparently obvious why people criticize Aaron Rodgers, and it has nothing to do with football. And Graziano is just the latest hack doing it, but he's got a history of this. Reminder, this is what the guy said after his teammates voted him the Dennis Byrd Award winner, which goes to the most inspirational player on the New York Jets. This was the same guy who just ripped Aaron Rodgers and provided no facts as to why he's ripping the guy.
Into the shadow realm you go.
Aaron Rodgers being voted the most inspirational Jet by his teammates is legit one of the saddest things I've ever heard.
He called it sad that they voted him inspirational for a team award. Right, because I forgot Dan Graziano's in the locker room. Dan Graziano's around the team. Dan Graziano has spoken with players. No, he hasn't. You know, it's funny. He actually said during one of his Aaron Rodgers bashing sessions last year, I remember this. He said that, despite the Jets telling us how great he's been, how good of a guy he's been, just wait. Just wait. He's going to con them. Even when people are telling you you're wrong, you still double down and just say, just wait, rather than just admit, hey, maybe the guy's been all in and committed since he's joined the Jets. They won't bring up the fact he took the largest pay cut in professional sports history before he even played it down for the Jets. Go look at Aaron Rodgers' cap hit last year, Dan. You might notice something that it was lower than Zach Wilson's. I wonder why. Please. It's just another baseless attack without the facts. I promise you, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play well, he will deserve criticism, as will the Jets. But I promise you, the Jets' win-loss record will not be affected by Aaron Rodgers missing 2 padless practices in the month of June. It's a story if he had not been at all the voluntary stuff. But by the logic of these fools in the media, these stooges in the media, the logic is Aaron should have skipped all 10 of the voluntary practices just to go to the 2 mandatory ones. That's the logic. If he had done that, you can't criticize him, right? We're supposed to believe that. When, let's be real, if he had skipped the voluntary ones and then went to the mandatory ones, he'd be getting ripped for that. They wouldn't give him a pass. Why would they? You really think if Rodgers skipped the 10 voluntary ones and then went to the 2 mandatory ones, people would be like, well, he went to the mandatory ones. It's fine. Anyone bringing up Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson not being at all their voluntary ones? No. And here's the best part about all this, right? Notice the way Rodgers was covered these last 2 weeks compared to how Tom Brady's skipping 11 days of training camp in 2022 was covered. Here was Brady being asked about missing training camp. I don't remember this being a big deal.
It's all personal. You know, everyone's got different situations they're dealing with, so we all have really unique challenges to our life. And, you know, I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on, so, you know, you just got to try to figure out life the best you can. And, you know, it's a continuous process, so.
I mean, no one said a word about Brady. You got Julian Edelman ripping Rodgers too. Bro, your butt buddy, Tom Brady, missed training camp. We don't want to hear it. All you need to know about this Aaron Rodgers story is anytime they criticize him, do they ever give you the full facts? The answer is always no. They don't bring up that he gave the Jets advance notice. They don't bring up the fact he was at the 10 practices before the 2 that were mandatory. There's no difference between minicamp, oh, by the way, and an OTA practice. It's the same thing. It's just called something different. And you know how many total first-team snaps Aaron Rodgers missed over the 2 days of minicamp? According to Rich Cimini, it was 36. I promise you, if the New York Jets don't reach their goals this year, it will not be because Aaron Rodgers missed 36 snaps with the first-team offense in June. If he's not there on July 23rd, 1 month from today when camp opens, then it's a story, Dan. If he had not been at the OTAs, the voluntary stuff, and then didn't show up to the minicamp stuff, I would be criticizing Rodgers. I'd say that's not acceptable. You're a team leader. You got to be there. He's been there. That won't get brought up, though. You know what the media could focus on? The Hassan Reddick situation. That's a real story, but they won't. Oh, we need a topic? Let's talk 2 weeks later if Aaron Rodgers missing minicamp is a big deal or not a big deal. Let's have Dan Graziano rip Aaron Rodgers because that's the Aaron Rodgers playbook from Dan Graziano. Saying he has not made a contribution to winning. Are you nuts? What was the alternative for this franchise? Why are their Super Bowl odds so high? Why do they have the second highest odds to win the AFC East? I can promise you it's not because of the roster. They've had a good roster the last 2 years. They haven't had a quarterback. That's the difference. He's been a distraction. Has he? Go ask Sauce Gardner or DJ Reed or Breece Hall or Garrett Wilson how they feel about having Aaron back. You tell me. And shout out to Bart Scott for being the only guy with a clue during this segment, actually stating facts from a former player's perspective on how meaningless 2 days in June are for a Hall of Fame quarterback.
So a camp in June has something to do with winning and losing in a regular season. He's been there every single day because of that.
Except the ones that were required.
Required or
mandatory.
Not, mandatory or not.
Yes.
He's been there doing team building. He's been there. He's done everything that you can ask him to do. Even his attempts last year to come back from an injury. You talk about his profound connection. I mean, he was taking guys out on mandates, getting guys access to plays, front seats at the Garden. Great. He's done everything he can do as a leader. I believe that you can. I get worried about his distractions when he's away from the field.
Which he was when they were at mandatory minicamp.
But we didn't put no mic in his face.
No.
Right? So it was not, we didn't ask his opinions for anything.
Maybe somebody
He's going to go away. He had a scheduling conflict. Whatever he had planned, we've seen this before with other people.
CBA mandates that the mandatory minicamp are either in the first or second week of June. You know exactly when the mandatory minicamp is going to be. There's no scheduling conflict.
He had built-in PTO, Graza. He had PTO, and he decided to put to cash in those.
Can't tell me the guy's all in if he's not there when it's mandatory.
Here's the complicated.
I mean, you could tell he doesn't even believe his own horse shit there. Seriously. You think Dan Graziano actually believes what he's saying there? He's like smirking just knowing that Bart exposed his argument there. How stupid it is. According to the CBA, it's mandatory to be there. Like, really, dude? Like, you don't believe what you're saying. That's why I can't take so many of these people seriously. You want to criticize the Jets and Aaron Rodgers? Can we have a legitimate reason for it if he doesn't play well, if this team doesn't reach its goals, right? But, like, you could just tell in that cut there as Bart is picking apart his useless argument, he doesn't believe anything he's saying. He's like smirking, smiling. He has to result to according to the CBA, it's mandatory to be there. Like, really? Like it's not even worth screaming and yelling at Dan Graziano. He doesn't believe the horse crap coming out of his mouth. That's what that is. Because he doesn't actually believe that. It's let me take the other side and rip Aaron Rodgers because I've been doing it from the beginning because it's easy. I used to cover the Giants. I hate the Jets. I'm on ESPN. It's easy on this platform to say this. Like, he doesn't believe that. That's why it's like you go through each of his quotes. He's been a distraction so far with his Jets. He hasn't made a contribution to winning. You can't tell me the guy's all in if he's not there when it's mandatory. And then they won't give out any of the other facts. And then people wonder why Jet fans are so annoyed. Oh, you Jet fans just defend Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, because the guy gets unfairly attacked. And we've seen, because we follow the team, unlike you guys, how committed he's been to the team. And that he gives us a chance to win. And we heard what his teammates have said about how devastated he was by the injury. And we saw how committed he still was to the Jets last year when he was flying halfway across the country every week to support this team and support Zach Wilson, and how he did try to come back at the end of last year. So it's just so weak. According to the CBA, you have to be there. Ugh. Like, really? I mean, keep downing all-time greats, and the Jets have just so much ammunition that it should all be used as motivation. But like you even see him smirking there as he's like, the CBA says it's mandatory. It's like, okay, well, how about if you're 40 years old, you've been at everything for 2 years, this offseason you've been at every voluntary thing, and you give the Jets notice before OTAs even start, hey, these 2 days I won't be there. If minicamp was so important, Dan Graziano, why did the Jets cut it from 3 to 2? Right? It was so important. They could have had another day of it. They shortened it like every team in the league did from 3 days to 2. You tell me. Like, if you watch that and you actually think this argument holds any weight, you're a stooge just like that reporter is with those comments. I mean, the smirk at the end there. If a stooge was a photo, it's that smirk. According to the CBA, honestly, I wish Bart was allowed to tackle him like he was still playing for the Jets. That would have been entertaining TV. So silly. But once again, not surprising. And this really was like the perfect storm. There are no football stories to talk about, so let's just bash Aaron Rodgers because it's easy. It's the same nonsense seemingly every time. Remember, Tom Brady missed 11 days of 11 days of training camp. How was the reaction to that? And notice when they do these segments, do they ever play cuts of Jets teammates talking about this? No. Why? Why do you think that is? You know why it is. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Today's Jake Asman Show presented by Huga House. Get yourself your vintage inspired cap, 15% off when you use promo code Asman at checkout. Folks, Huga House has a sale that's running right now. Buy one hat, get the second hat, 30% off when you head over to HUEGAhouse.com. Get the hat, Rodgers rocks. Get the hat, Kevin from The Office rocks. Shane Gillis, Shohei, JT Realmuto, and many other athletes and celebs. HugaHouse.com. Promo code Asman at checkout for 15% off. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We will open up the Gusbuster hotline. Super chats always cut the line. So let's start it off with this one from J Mags, who says, shaking in my boots that AR missed 2 days in June. Oh, laughable. I mean, and like the media, a lot of them locally in New York too, they like want like us to be outraged over this. And it's just not going to work. We see through the horse shit. I'm sorry to curse, but like that's the only way to call it out. Because if you're truly a real Jet fan and you're going to sit here and be stressed over Rodgers, who's been at everything, giving the team notice months in advance that he couldn't be there for these 2 days in June, and you're going to be upset about that, I don't know what to tell you. It is not a big deal. It's just not. If he had not been at the voluntary ones, I would be right there with these people saying it's a bad look. But I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm outraged over this when no one on the team is outraged. The big fella with a super chat. Bart Scott's reaction says it all. Guy is a clown. I mean, yeah. Once again, you want captivating TV? Let Bart tackle him live on the air. That would be captivating. Let's open it up to your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from the pool is Purple Belt Mike. What's up, Mike?
Yo, what's up? I had to get in on the convo here because Dan's in the realm with CJ Stroud as public enemy number one. Throw him in there. Just throw him in. But I had to get in here and just say, fuck him, basically. Excuse my English.
Amen. How's the pool? What's the temperature?
82 degrees, baby. Is it nice?
Very nice. At first I thought you had a blue wig on, and then I'm like, it must be a floaty thing.
No, it's a floaty. Yeah.
What a Long Island summer day that looks like.
Yeah, this is it, man. What a life, right?
I love it. Mike, excellent job out of you. It was great to see you again on Thursday.
Yeah, it's good to see you, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Purple Belt Mike. Hit the like button. Mike D's Nuts says, Mike is chilling. Amen, Mike D's Nuts.
Is this Mike D's Nuts?
You bet your ass it is, Leedy. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live right now is a man I paid a visit to yesterday because I was in the neighborhood. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the all-time great humanitarians, forget shoe salesmen, Mr. Bodsey.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D. Cozy totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
My brother.
Mr. Bodsey, it was an honor to appear on the Robert Midnight program live from Alden's with you yesterday.
We definitely surprised everybody. It was funny when you were just kind of sitting in there waiting, and nobody was looking yet. You were kind of like under the sky. So it was awesome. Thanks for stopping by. It's always fun to say what's up.
I loved it. It was an honor to see Joe Bonesy do all the work as you were making your appearance on the Bobby Show.
Hell yeah! Tell Bobby that something's going on with our phone, so he can't even prank me right now.
Wow.
But anyway, seeing Bart walk off the stage when he did the little circle, that tells you all. Like, he's just like, dude, come on, bro. And then, like you said, that smirk that Graz has on his face, that's unagitated because you're making me look like a fool, but I'm on TV. So I have to, he just doesn't, it's so obvious. He doesn't like Rodgers personally.
Yeah.
So,
like if you watch that, your takeaway can't be that this guy actually believes his argument as he's smirking there as Bart is making him look like an idiot on national TV. Like that's the only explanation.
It's so true. He literally looked aggravated with that smile. Like, it's like, he just doesn't like Rodgers. It's plain and simple. And it's June. Bart nailed it. Bart just said everything you needed to hear. Like, Graz was just so pissed because, he looks stupid. He's just like, yo, grow up. You don't like Aaron Rodgers, and this is like, you're making a. Bart basically also said, this means nothing. This isn't a big deal. Like, once we get to the games, man, I can't wait. I can't wait for all guys like Graz to have to be positive, to have to be like, oh, yeah, Rodgers still got it. I guess those 2 days, he would never admit. He needs like one of us to call him and go back on all his takes,
Just save all the receipts because they're going to be beautiful to look back on.
I started keeping tabs on receipts at the end of last season, so I'll keep hush hush for a while with everybody who we hang out with too. But one day maybe I'll make a rap about it.
Oh baby, Bonesy, I love it. I love it.
All right, Jake.
Enjoy another day at Alden's.
All right, I'm off tomorrow though. I'm working both weekend days, but I'm off tomorrow. So.
I'm sure Bobby will call your house phone.
Oh wait, hold on, wait. I forgot one story. Don't cut yet. So last night I wake up probably 1 o'clock in the morning to go take a leak. And I look at my YouTube, and who is live at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Bobby's live at 1 in the morning.
Bobby's live with a full panel. A full panel. Everybody. Sarah was there. Craig, Dre.
Well, Craig,
Addison.
it's easy. Craig, it's like in the afternoon for him. It's like he's afternoon drive.
Dude, full panel. Everybody's chilling. I go in there and I'm like, you guys are crazy, right? And everybody's like, oh, Bonesy, come on, get on. So I'm sneaking out of my bedroom, coming down the stairs. I get dressed. I go on for like a half an hour. Bobby's half asleep. But when Sarah asks me to do anything, I do it. So that accent is.
Bonesy, that's incredible. And congrats to Bonesy, by the way. Oh, man. Bobby's live at 1 in the morning. Too funny. South End Auto Detailing with a super chat for the people. Honored to meet you last night, Bones, despite Bobby kicking me. Bobby's starting to have a quick trigger throwing people out of the show. I love it. Big fella, $10 super chat. Boom. All Salah had to say was that it was excused. He told us months ago and gave it the okay. It's stupid we're talking about it. If the team's fine with it, that's all that matters. It means absolutely nothing. I didn't think Salah helped the situation with the wording of how he explained it. But at the end of the day, we're talking about 2 padless practices in June when the guy went to 10 of the other practices. Anyone say anything about Javon Kinlaw missing all 10 of the practices and showing up to the 2 minicamp ones? No. Ladies and gentlemen, we entered today's show 144 members away from a new emoji. We now only need 143. Dorian H. is paying it forward. You should too. 1 channel membership has been gifted, and Jerome Bolden, that's our guy Jerome the Packer fan, is on the other end of receiving this membership. Who's going to make it rain on today's program? That's the question. Paul is up next. Hello, Paul.
How's it going, Jake?
Hey, Paul.
What's happening? You know what it's all about. You know what it's all about, right? They're all hating because they know we're going to be popping. That's the end of the story. And can we just get the luck of the football gods to stay generally healthy this year and finally make a statement? I can't wait either. As much as I love Summer, I just can't. I can't wait. Rodgers is going to just stick it to everybody and let them play angry. That they're taking all this to heart. It's going to be friggin' awesome watching the beginning of the year. They're just going to come out in San Fran and they're going to rock because they got something to prove. And I can't wait. I don't know about you, but that's going to be a game that I'm getting ready for, baby. Let's go, Jets.
Paul, are you drunk already for that game on September 9th? How are we feeling?
I will be. I definitely will be. It's too early for me to start now. I got work to do on the house. But don't worry, I will be for that game. You can bet your ass on that one.
I love it. I love it. Paul, you're the man. I can't wait for your calls throughout the summer and then getting ready for week 1. Paul's the best. Ladies and gentlemen, it has begun. Not so sane. 5 channel memberships. Sound the alarm. Clancy, NY Jets, Adrian Flores, RB Gamer, Ryan Tikatch, TH3 Entertainment, you better thank Not So Sane, who I don't know if he's ever gifted a membership before. I love that. Just $5 to give someone a membership. Pay it forward if you want to support the show and support your fellow Asmaniac listener. More of your calls right now. Jake Klein is up next. Jake, what's up, man?
Morning, man. How you doing?
Good, dude. How are you?
I like your little chicken review with Jake the other night. I saw his Instagram.
Yeah, you know, I had him on the radio show too on Friday night, so that was a lot of fun.
I know. It was about, you did mention the grimace, right? I didn't hear the whole thing.
Yes, I had him on to talk about the Mets because it was like fresh after like their 11-1 win and they'd won like 9 of 10, so it was good stuff.
Yeah, no, I just that spot was a little dipper, whatever it's called. The food does look pretty good there, so I still have to look it out.
Really good spot. The owner is really cool.
I just want to point out one thing just about this whole thing. Did everyone forget minicamp was canceled last year? I'm just saying, like, no one has talked about that once. Then Rodgers just came to the team. You would think he would come, and now they're making a big story about this. So it's like, why is this such a big deal? Like, why is this really such a big deal? Is it just because we need to just, grill Rodgers because of, I don't care about the politics, whatever, but like,
well, that's part of it though. But that's part of it. That it is the politics stuff. And it also, it's like the perfect time, right? Like they had what's the biggest football story right now? There isn't one. It's like you had Trevor Lawrence's extension for a couple of days and then it's right back to, it's overreaction Friday on Get Up. Well, let's throw a Rodgers topic out there. Like it's like the perfect timing for this story to come out. They have nothing else.
I mean, you think they're bad. Look at Good Morning Football. They're gone. So clearly, what were they going to talk about for the next 5 months? Nothing. So these morning shows really have nothing to talk about really until training camp. And that's going to be end of July. It's just all summer filler, what. So, I mean, that's kind of the way I look at this. And I don't see anything different unless we, and we're going to get Reddick signed probably by this is my prediction, honestly. I know we talked about this before. I think Reddick's going to get signed probably the morning before training camp or something like that. They'll come to some extension deal, the 2-year deal like you and I discussed, and I think they'll settle this whole thing. And Rodgers will be there every single day. And, I mean, I don't want him playing in preseason, but, I mean, they will be there every day. That's just my take.
I mean, he's never missed a training camp. You know what I mean? Like it's such a non-story. And also, here's the stat that matters, right? Aaron Rodgers in his career, either due to COVID or the lockout in 2011 or him just skipping it in 2021 altogether, he's won the MVP each of the 3 times he has not been at a mandatory minicamp. So hopefully he makes it four times, right? And he wins his 5th career MVP award. That'd be nice.
No, yeah. No, and plus I was talking to my Giants friend last night. He somehow completely forgot that Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs because he was trying to defend Daniel Jones because he was just there with his friends or something in the police department. I'm like, dude, you understand Rodgers won the MVP back-to-back years. He's like, no, but he sucked his last year. He said he wanted to get out of the team, man. He was mentally checked out. He didn't want to be there.
Dude, he sucked his last year would be better by far than any year Daniel Jones has ever had in his career. Rodgers' worst year would be they'd be building a statue for him outside of MetLife. Giants fans would be if Daniel Jones put up that kind of season.
That's all he has to be this year. Like, I mean, look, I want him to be a superstar. Don't get me wrong. He literally came to the Jets. He's like, wow, all I have to do is score 2 touchdowns. That's it. I don't have to score 5 touchdowns because Mike Penton was a terrible defensive coordinator. Yeah. That's the whole point. Now, obviously, Salah's got to be a good coach and discipline his players. That's a whole nother discussion. But at the same time, like, you're not asking much. Like, Sauce and the defense can get it done. They did that last year with every horrendous quarterback we had. So just keep that. I think fans have to keep that in mind. Like, he doesn't have to go out there and throw a touchdown week 1, 5 touch, whatever. He's not going to have to score 5 touchdowns. He's not going to have to do that.
No, he has to go out there and play like a top 15 quarterback in the league, and I think he could be much better than that. And if he's just a bottom half of the quarter, or like a top half of the league quarterback is the way to word it. They should go from 7 wins with the worst quarterback playing in the league to at least 10. It's an easier schedule this year too, which I know it's all about when you play teams and year to year things change, but 100%, man, like there is no excuse for this team. If they get 2022 Aaron Rodgers, and I think it'll be better than that, they're at least a 10 or 11 win team.
Yeah. You on the radio today, or are you just doing this all day?
Tomorrow I am on the radio on ESPN nationally from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's my next radio show.
All right, man. Keep it up. Good work.
Thanks, Jake. Hope to see you soon, man. Appreciate that. Hit the like button. Jake's out of prison, by the way. The chat going nuts. I love it. Jake normally calls us from what looks like a prison. Ladies and gentlemen, couple of quick things to address. First, this one from Just End the Stigma, because I love this super chat. I hate that sound, though. I apologize for the soundboard being brutal. Jake, thanks for the excuse to order from Homage again. Fellow IC alum here. Love the show. Go Jets. Homage shirt, baby. I love it. Go Bombers. Shout out to everyone supporting the new sponsor. Please use the link in the description. That's the way the channel will get credit. Any of the shirts you see up there, the Rodgers shirt I always wear on the show, scan that QR code, and it will take you right to their website where I listed all the Jet stuff they have for sale over at Homage. Ladies and gentlemen, he just called in. He has made it rain. 5 channel memberships are being dropped on the channel thanks to our guy, Paul Faz.
Money, 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 money.
If you hear your name called, you thank Paul, Ethan Hunt, Sorry Not Sorry, Elton B., Devin Robinson, and Zach Miller. That's 11 channel memberships. We need more memberships, people. All right? There just needs to be too much memberships just exploding everywhere. Appreciate everyone for their support. There needs to be too much winning on this channel.
Please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
Yes. Ricky NY is up next. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Jake? And you know what? This whole Rodgers thing is so ridiculous. And there's one question that I haven't heard any of these reporters ask. Like, how do we know that during the OTAs where he was there, since they knew months ahead of time that he was going to be gone, they didn't say, hey, let's take these last couple of days to OTAs to focus on what we would have done those 2 days that you're not going to be here. We don't know if they did that or not. You know, it's ridiculous. And, you know, PBA, it's technically unexcused, but we knew about this in advance, and the team has no problem with it. I just wish he would have worded it different. But you know what? It wouldn't have mattered what he said. These people that are hating would have still thought up something to say. It's just crazy. Like, you know, you see, like, you know, the OBJ temper tantrums and the other guys around the league acting up. Rodgers has been like the perfect model teammate. And the crap that he gets from these people, you know, for being a role model is ridiculous. And I get it. They don't like their politics, but, you know, they should just stick to the topic, you know, that, you know, it's sports. We're talking about him as a quarterback, not.
Well, what's funny is too, people that don't like his politics. It's like on these sports shows, you don't need to cover his interview that he does with Tucker Carlson or some of the other podcasts he's done this offseason. You know, like if you don't like him because you disagree with the things he says on these shows, fine. That you don't, but like on your sports show, him talking about, you know, the campaign for RFK with Joe Rogan has no bearing on the Jets season. So you don't need to be on ESPN or Fox or NBC covering things he says that have nothing to do with football. If he talks about the Jets or his injury, you could cover it like we have on the show, which has all been positive things. Him talking about how he wants to play multiple years, how committed he is, how good his body feels. Like that's the stuff that should be covered. Who cares what he says about RFK on Joe Rogan? It doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. And you know, just it's so funny that people on the outside, and I'm not going to, you know, bash the person or say the person's name because I actually like the person. But somebody the other day made the comment of, you know, Rodgers only worked 4 days last year. And I'm like, dude, he was at all the workouts, all the training camps last year. And you know how hard he worked to come back from that injury? To say that he only worked for 4 days last year is like the most gross understatement. And just, you know, such a bizarre outside perspective, like, because it's just the furthest thing from the truth. That guy came back from that injury quicker than anybody ever has, and worked his ass off to do so. And we all know, you know, had we not been out of it, he would have played last year. So I don't get it. I don't get the hate, but whatever, you know what? They can keep on hating. And when that old washed up old man with the bad politics comes out and punches them in the fucking mouth next year, they're all going to regret the way they've been talking. That's
Ricky NY. Fighting
Jets.
words for Ricky. Oh my goodness.
And
Let's
four,
go,
baby.
Ricky. Let's go, Ricky. I love it. Sound the bell. Ricky coming out firing some haymakers. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. Curly Norman is on the line. Curly, hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you, Curly.
We have Jake Asman.
Is this actually you?
This is me.
Wow. I didn't think you'd ever call in. It's an honor.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the free therapy. You guys are hilarious. So, yeah, just wanted to call in. It's a slow summer day. My wife's away, so I figured I'd call in for the first time.
Ricky, Curly, how many wins for the Jets? 6 or 7 in your mind?
Nah, I mean, listen, I know I lean closer to Allen and JJ, but I think I'm a little bit less negative than them. If they do stay healthy, I realistically think they should win the division this year. But you know, just I'm a jaded, mentally ill Jet fan, so I always think the worst. So
you're a season ticket holder, right? How many years have you been a season ticket holder?
So my father's had them since the mid '90s. My first year I remember is the 1-in-15 year as a little kid, and I've been sick ever since. So that's it.
I love it. I love it, Curly. It's an honor to actually see what you look like. I've seen your comments for like it feels like years already.
Yeah, I've been following you for a while. Yeah, a couple of years, and I just been hanging on to the we have. You know, I think it's a funny bit, so I go with it.
I like you. I'm a bits guy, so I love it.
Speaking of Ricky, I'm about to book my trip to Jacksonville, so hopefully we'll see Ricky there, and I'm definitely going to the Phoenix game, and obviously the home games. Unfortunately, the only game I won't be going to for home is I won't be in New York for the Halloween game, so I'm going to be missing that, of course.
That's all right. Hopefully I'll meet you at the home opener. Come by L5.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I go with my dad to every game. We used to have my brother come, but he had 3 kids, and now he's not able to make it anymore. So it's just me and my dad. But yeah, just wanted to say hi. I do usually, lean more towards negative, and but I'm still a Jet fan like everybody else. So
I love it, Curly. The AFC East champs. Say it loud. Say it proud.
We have AFC East champs.
Curly, excellent job out of you. I love it. I was starting to wonder, is Curly even a real person, or is he just an AI, programmed bot that just comments we have and then inserts different things from the show? I love it. Shout out to Curly. Love that. Hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Thanks to everyone who's submitted a super chat or has donated a membership. It goes a long way in these slow times towards this channel. Still bringing you content day in, day out. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a guy who was live until the wee hours of the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bobby time.
Well, I love the Yankees and the Jets, and to read the super chats are more than just a hat. Bobby.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, Bobby.
There's 2 sides to every story, isn't there?
And somewhere in the middle lies the truth, is what my dad would say.
Yes, the truth is, remember the guy who sent you the thing in the chat?
No.
Whatever is from Albany, that knucklehead from Albany.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy who sent you, I kicked him off last night, remember?
I didn't watch the show, Bobby. I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy who does the car thing, he cleans cars.
This super chat right here?
Yes.
Honored to meet you last night, Bonesy, despite Bobby kicking me out.
Yes, okay. So we had Sarah on last night, and we had our kid on, right? So I told her, no F-bombs in the chat, please. So this moron decides to drop 6 of them last night. So I kicked his ass off the show. I was frustrated. It was like dealing with a 3-year-old kid. Her kid acted more adult than he did. So you better shut up over there, knucklehead. You're still banned from my channel. So don't give me crap, because I told you 4 different times I gave it to you. Enough is enough. I had it. Then with this moron from talking about Aaron Rodgers, he's smoking some goddamn kush. I think he has oral diarrhea. I think the guy is sick in the head. Wasn't he a quarterback in college or something?
No, Dan Graziano?
Yeah.
No, I don't. He's never played a professional football or collegiate football ever.
I hold up, because he does not know what he's talking about. And Bart Scott, I wish, ran his ass over, like you said.
Yeah.
Because, he got a big mouth. He just has oral diarrhea. We shouldn't listen to him at all.
I haven't seen you this angry, Bobby. You're very fired up.
No, that comment really tipped me off. I'm going crazy right now. That comment. I banned him for a reason, because that kid was right there, and I told him no F words. Do you agree with me or disagree? Agree with him?
Well, if you told him not to curse and he kept cursing, I agree with you.
Oh, yeah. 6 times he was on the bong. Of course, his bong. You know who he sounds like? He sounds like Tommy, but Tommy's a lot smarter than him.
When you say he was on the bong, you mean he was hitting the bong?
Yes, he was hitting the bomb. Yes. Yeah. So after like the fifth curse word, I had to get rid of his, but I am not happy with him. He can't back up his word, so he should shut up. You're not coming on my channel. I can't deal with that crap anymore. I feel bad for his dog because this guy's a moron. He doesn't know how to do anything. He's done for.
Wow. Well, Bobby, what if I told you that South End Auto Detailing is called in to respond?
Good. Let the asshole come on.
All right. Well, here we go. Family show. So please watch the curse words. But here we go. South End Auto Detailing.
Oh yeah, there's
Bobby.
moron. There's the moron. How you doing,
What's up,
moron?
brother?
Jackass. How's the jackass doing?
What's up, Bobby? I love you, man. You let me back in. So he let me back in.
No, I banned your ass. So you're a jackass. That's all I have to
Wait, you're not ever gonna let me back?
Well, you got to smarten up. After the fourth time I told you no curse words, the fifth one I had to ban you. But
no, yeah, it was late. It was late. We were having fun, you know.
There was a kid in the chat, moron. I told you,
Bobby.
no cursing.
All right, we're gonna go on the redemption tour. You see my name. I told you I'll super chat you. Whatever you need me to do.
I don't want any money.
I'm a big part of this community. You can't blackball me. I mean, the chat loves it.
I don't need any money from you. I don't want any of your money. Okay,
Bobby, we're close. You're in Vermont. I'm in Albany. It's all love, man.
Well,
you know, they were talking about they were bringing up. They were cursing too. I was wrong. I admit it. You know,
the only
so
one who's
we'll move forward. Hey, you're a big part of the reason why I watch this show, Bobby. So
Okay,
you
all
gotta
right.
let me back on your show.
All right, I'll think about it. Bye.
All right, my boy Bobby.
You're not my boy.
What did you think there, Bobby? Any ground? Did we make any ground there? Make any improvements on the situation?
It's gonna take time.
Should he write a handwritten apology note to you?
No, I don't want nothing from him. I don't want nothing. I don't want his dirty money. I don't want nothing from him.
I like to call it blood money when I get super chats or whatever from people that are annoying.
Yeah. Oh, he acted like a 3-year-old. Her son acted more mature than he did. He kept calling Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. Give me a break. It's 1:30 in the morning. Shut your pile up.
How long are you going live for, Bobby? You were live for like 4 hours during the day yesterday.
The mistake I did was I was trying to put a background on my thing. So you need to get on the back studio. You need to put on, you got to put a name and a title. So I did. And then Nick had to call me up. Oh, everybody's waiting for you to go live. Oh, God.
Well, Bobby, get some sleep today, all right? You're doing so much.
I slept good. I slept good.
All right.
I slept for 10 hours. But this guy, once he threw that coming, and I had to defend myself because I was in the right, not him.
I'm on your side, Bobby.
Oh, you know I'm doing another Zoom meeting. Oh, Farts Jake's going live. Gotta end my friggin' stream. I'm Bobby.
Man, can't we all just get along? We're all Jet fans here. Come on. All right? We got to rally around the other teams, not our own. Rick Kent checks in. Bobby was right to kick Southend, but Southend is right. Bobby did let him back in at the end. Without having seen the situation, it is tough for me to comment, you know, but as you guys know, we love to bring people together on this show. So I thought having Bobby and Southend discuss it would have been productive. Southend has wrote in with a super chat. Nothing could be more annoying than Bobby interrupting my Jets takes I get from Jake, yet I still love him. Uh-oh, shots fired. I feel like the ground we just made might have now been squashed. Ladies and gentlemen, super chat has come in here from Mike L. Jake, parlay this into a membership gift. The pool is actually 85 degrees LFG. All right, Mike. Well, it's going to be hard to do two separate gift things while I'm live. It messes up the feed, but I will keep that in mind. We will give 2 memberships in your honor in a future show. Thank you, my man. Man, things are happening today. Mike says, I've been watching since this was a Jet show. The first 30 minutes or so it was, and then it became Bobby versus Southend. We love a good battle on this show. Sound the bell. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back on track. This guy always talks about the Jets and only the Jets. He goes by many names. Today, he's going by Scooter. Hello, Scott.
Oh, hey, what's up, Gangrene?
Hey.
All right, so Mr. Midnight has a rift. That's upsetting, but last night I spoke to the GM. The first time I actually had a chance to. So he said, just go on his website, check out the community. So he told about your live meet, which was awesome. Said, try to raise $1,000 for mental health. He's like, cool. I said, 37,000 subscribers, not enough. He's like, that's a lot. I said, okay. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, just like we were talking. I said, I don't know, have a day here. He's like, put him at the corner. I'm like, it faces the street. He's like, yeah, that's cool. So he will contact you. He's like, I'll contact him. Sounds good. He's like, somehow he's like, we'll make it happen. That's that.
All right. So Jake Asman Day in Saratoga is a strong possibility.
Yes. I'll go with that strong possibility. Like I said, I just spoke to him. I said, he's like, what is this about? I said, I don't know. Jake said yes. I said, I went on the show and said, get up here. I showed him the mezzanine. No one was here. He's like, cool. I showed him the facility up top. Talked to him last night. So at some point he'll get in contact with you.
I look forward to it. Now, is there any update on the robbery at your place of work? Have they caught the criminal?
Only on this show, dude. Only on this show.
Scott, you're the one who brought up the fact that your place of work was robbed. I can't not ask you about it. What do you mean only on the show? This is the only show you call.
I understand that, but the circumstances of what happened, what occurred after that, I'm not going to talk about it now.
What do you mean what occurred? You told the story. I don't know what occurred. You're the one who brought the story to light.
They caught him.
They got him?
They got him.
There we go. How'd they get him?
I don't know. Undisclosed information. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
But there's a stipulation, which I'm not going to talk about.
Are you the robber?
There's a funny aspect to that too. I was actually a suspect, and I'm not kidding.
Of course you.
I'm not even kidding. And we look similar.
Did you turn yourself in?
Oh God, no. But I was, obviously we were both on camera, and we're similar skin, size, stature, etc. So there's a picture of me on the stairs with a bun, because I had my bun, and he had one too. So that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I was a suspect.
So, to be clear, you're not a convicted criminal, though. You were not being charged for robbery.
No, we're Jet fans. Everyone wants to rob us, right? We owe everybody.
Scott, once again,
no,
your football allegiance has nothing to do with your place of work being robbed.
It's luck of the draw, dude. Any place can get robbed. It's
that's what I'm saying.
It is what it is. But the thing is, though, he saw my bun. I was on camera, so I was talked to. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, so they got the guy, and he's being put behind bars. What's the latest?
No.
What do you mean no?
I said no.
He robbed your place of work.
I answer your question. No.
All right. Okay. So what happens next then? Elaborate.
You elaborate. You know as much as I do.
Scott, I don't like where this is going. You're no longer giving us a lot of information. It leads me to believe that you are actually a suspect in this investigation.
I was.
Right, but I think you still are. I don't think you've been exonerated.
I just said, get Charles on the scene. He's ready to roll. He's get Bobby. No, it's just the way that it happens, dude.
Scott, I don't know if I could go up to the Saratoga region with a robbery, case ongoing, and you might be a suspect. How do I know? How do I know I'm not being set up to be robbed?
Oh God, Jake. No, everyone's got to get up here. Once he contacts you,
not with a robber on the loose.
They're called politicians, not robbers. But no, it's just, it is what it is, man. So I'm not gonna elaborate too much, but If you read between the lines, I said everything.
No, you hit
just
it. You've said absolutely nothing. No one knows what you're talking about.
Yes, I did. I answered your question very vaguely.
Scott,
That's that.
Thank you for the time, Scott. I have no idea what you're talking about. If anyone in the chat has any idea what Scott is talking about, please let us know. Mike D's Nuts writes in, Bobby, forgiveness is growth. Well said, Mike D's Nuts. And if you're not familiar with Mike D's Nuts, just know he's everywhere.
Is this Mike D's Nuts?
Absolutely. Super chat, South End. The midnight show is always R-rated. That's why it was a slip-up. Others cursed as much as me, and Bobby didn't blink. It's all love. Make a poll for me. South End, I got to be honest. I'm not making a poll for your issues with Bobby Midnight. That's between you two. All right, I hope you guys can work it out. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple more calls right now. One of the all-time greats is on the line. I hope he saw yesterday's show where I was rocking the Clover Leaf Tavern hat. Chef Kevin Gilbert joins us out. What's up, Chef Kevin?
Hey, what's going on, Jake? How you doing, brother?
What's up, man? Thanks again for coming out on Thursday. It was great to see you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on your platform again. Big thank you to yesterday for wearing the Clover Leaf hat on your show, man. Very exciting. Much appreciated. Appreciate all that you do, man. That was a great outing that you had, even though I just, came at the last minute.
You made it at the buzzer. You still got some food at the end there and a beer. You were a part of it.
Yep. That penne pasta was worth the trip.
Love it.
And because my buddy is from Long Island, we went out afterwards and whatnot, still hung around the area and everything. So it was still a good time, man. Well worth it and everything. I had some, I wanted to talk about Dan Graziano, but but our guy, which I think he's laying low now because he's going by the name of Scooter. That just totally derailed my whole thought process on what to talk about. But for Graziano, like, we already know he's a fool just with his takes and his literature. It almost seems like he needs to say these things, knowing that there might be another ESPN round of layoffs. So he's trying to maybe get some clicks and whatnot. Bart Scott looked at him like he wanted to choke slam him and all that. Just like Greeny, just in disgust, like it's taken up time because there's nothing really else to talk about. He's keeping on rambling about it. I mean, enough of this fool, man. Like, we appreciate you, Jake, because you keep it real. You bring a lot of folks on here for great Jets content, which is why we're all here, and appreciate everything that you do. But for him, time to move on. But for Bobby, man, like, I was on his show yesterday, and for the second time. First time I was on it for that Epic Gator comedy hour. That was just classic Gator. And he actually created something for Leany, for the Billy, for the guy, Mike D's Nuts, where I'm actually just thankful to be a part of something or whatever. So whenever you play that, I see my face at the bottom where I'm like, all right, I'm part of a little Gator production, but because Mike just slinging it or whatever, I'm able to, have a little cameo there. So appreciate all involved. But Bobby, man, he's dealing with the YouTube stuff, man. There's highs and lows, and especially when you go on for 4 hours or whatever, you're gonna have some highs and lows. But
8 hours. I mean, he's
wait,
live.
8 hours?
He was live all day yesterday. I went to Bonesy's shoe store yesterday. It surprised the show. And
Yeah,
the show had already been live for 3 hours at that point. And then he did another 4 hours until the wee hours in the morning.
Yo, so I told Bobby, man. Bobby's my guy, man. I told him because when I was on that last time, like Gator and Mike D's, we were talking about Bob, and Bobby was just let us know that he doesn't like it and whatnot. So I just kind of let him know, like, hey, just want to make sure you're good. I said this yesterday, and then they were talking about like another merged something guy or whatever. There was like, all right, that got squashed or whatever. And then I saw like there was a thing with Jay Quest or whatever. Jay Quest, good dude, met him or whatever. And then something else now I see on your show. There was something else.
I don't know, Kevin. I can't keep track of all of it. I just know that I'm always Team Bobby in any Bobby dispute.
Facts. For those that know, man, got a problem with Bobby, man. You got a problem with me, Bobby's the Billy, man. But let me run, man. I just wanted to jump on because I saw your, the love with the cloverleaf hat, man. I felt like I had to jump on and say thank you. So much appreciated. Thanks for all the content. Again, great showing that you had last Thursday. Anything else, man? Let us know how we can help, man.
Kevin, you're the best, my man. Chef Kevin, everybody. And I will be at the Cloverleaf Tavern at some point this summer after a Jet training camp practice. So I look forward to trying Chef Kevin's place in person. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have much time left, so we're going to rapid fire through a couple calls. But joining us for the first time since he was one of the biggest stars, if not the biggest star, at our Long Island meetup, the man who led the Jet chant. Folks, Neil is on the line.
Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener? Yeah! Let's go. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go.
What's up, Neil?
What's happening, Jake? How you doing?
How are you doing, man? You brought the energy on Thursday.
I try. Look, it's about my 1,000 chants I've done. And, it was nice doing them and nice seeing everybody Thursday. And was it Thursday or Friday?
Night.
Thursday night. It was great seeing everybody Thursday. Gary was a lot bigger guy than I thought he was going to be, Jake. What did you think, right? Wasn't he like pretty big guy?
I loved Gary, man. Him showing up with the Cromartie jersey on. I mean, it was tremendous.
Yeah, he look at him, two-fisted with the food. I think Rob emptied out 2 of the 3 trucks that were there. I think the food was in there. He's like an endless pit when he starts, my man Rob. But it was great to see everybody. NFL Network had a Green Bay 49er game on from 2022. Green Bay won the game 30-28.
Oh, that was a Sunday night game where Rodgers hit Devontae to set up the 50-yard field goal by
Let me tell you something. You watch him, it's like watching a maestro. The rush doesn't mean anything. As soon as he sees a rush, boom, he hits Devontae 2 yards. Boom, he hits the fullback. Boom, he's over the top. He is a maestro. And one thing I noticed in 2021, I got to tell you something. He's a little more jacked now than he was in 2021. He's like more like his arms in 2021. It didn't look like he was built that well. He looked a little lanky in comparison to the way he built himself up now. So I think he's a little sturdier than he was, and there's going to be no let-offs. He is going to be gashing the 49ers in that opener. That guy that did when they had the Magic Show guy on, and he said 31-21, I think he was talking about the opener. That's my prediction. Yes, sir. I think it was 31-21 for the opener, and I think he just mixed it all up. That guy was really amazing. I don't know how the hell he did some of the stuff he did, but just like watching Rodgers, I don't give a, I love the haters.
Wait, Neil, I don't know if he was talking about the Jets Niners. I remember that moment a little differently maybe than you do.
All the pieces come together in a season, it can be absolute perfection, folks, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Jets, led by Zach Wilson, will fucking suck ass,
guys. That was the backup. It was 31-21. That was the Super Bowl prediction he had. But maybe it's a prediction for this year. But I will say that opener, I fully expect a full throttle game. Everybody is going to be healthy. There was an article written yesterday about 4 different things that could happen to have the Jets be a Super Bowl winner. Did you see that?
I have not, but perhaps I'll look at it and cover it.
It was phenomenal. It was just like, if Rodgers could get to MVP form, not that he has to.
Who wrote it?
What's that?
Where was the story?
I don't remember. I tried looking at it on my phone again before I got on, but I couldn't find it. But I read it this morning. Very exciting, talking about the offensive line and how if everybody stays healthy, if Rodgers has if he has an MVP season, we're going to run away with it. If he has a good season, we're going to be in great shape. The wide receiver room, the Brees Hall stuff, the play calling. In that game, both it said that Green Bay had an 80% touchdown rate in the red zone, which was like a record of some sort. During that prior to that game, they were 80% touchdowns in the red zone. 80%. I mean, he makes it look so easy. He threw one to Devontae Adams. I mean, now I don't know if Hackett was the goal line guy that year, right? I mean, he was designing the plays in the goal line. Don't you think?
Not in that game that you're referring to, but the previous 3 years he was.
He wasn't? It was
because he was the Bronco coach in 2022.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So he was already the Bronco coach in 21?
In 22 he was. The game you're talking about is that Niners game in 2022, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Oh, was the 2021 season?
Yes.
Then Hackett was still there, yes.
Yep. And pretty much all the same guys. It was Garoppolo was the quarterback. And
yeah,
Garoppolo,
I watched that game on a plane. I was coming back from somewhere. That game was crazy. They had like 15 seconds left, and he got him in field goal range, and they won the game in walk-off fashion.
You know what? We're not going to give up 28 points to the 49ers. I don't see it. That's the difference, because he's going to get that 30, 31 points, 28 points, 24 points, 27 points. We're going to score almost every time he touches the ball. And our defense is going to let loose and really have an amazing year.
And the Jet chants are going to be flowing, Neil. They're going to be everywhere.
God. Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener? Yeah! He's going to die. Let's go. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Yeah!
That's it. Bang! That's about half speed. I'm going to be full speed at the opener. L5 is going to... I may wear the jersey when you burn it. I may put it on. I don't even care. I'll go on fire that day. I'm telling you, we're going to have an absolute blast. And I'm excited. And I think, everybody else, as we get closer, I know it's just a lull right now, but it'll be here before we know it. And that's all I got. Have a good one. Everybody enjoy.
I love it.
I can't believe you cut me off, Jake.
Blast off. Yeah. Tremendous. I love it. Neil bringing the energy. My favorite Neil story from the party. Neil shows up, immediately goes to the bar, gets 10 tequila shots for everybody that was already there, leads a Jet chant, and then the owner of the event comes up to me and goes, hey, it's no problem if you guys keep drinking, but we don't have enough alcohol if everyone's just going to come up and order like 10 shots at a time. I'm like, I'll talk to Neil. Oh, it was amazing. Neil's the best. Love it. Can't wait for the opener. Ladies and gentlemen, I was waiting for a Curly comment. He couldn't be positive for too long after making his caller debut earlier. All this build-up for us to go 3 and out on the first drive. There's the Curly I know. Rick says, Neil had such a good time, he lost track of days. Yeah, the party was Thursday night, Neil. Don't worry. Carly writes in, he's going to die is almost as funny as, is this Mike D's nuts? The best part of that video, and I said this the other day, the best part of that video is Dre at the very beginning. Just subtly throw it out there after Neil goes, is Brock Purdy going to run for his life? He's going to die. Hennessy Heisman with a super chat. He writes in, only one thing left to do, win the whole effing thing. Amen. Tyrone Garcia with a super chat. The New York or media will always disrespect the Jets no matter what we do. I've seen it happen for over 5 decades. We will have the last laugh. Go Jets. Amen. Gotta win. Dano checks in. That's just how I picture Dano all hours of the day. I remember what it was like before we finally won it all. There was cannibalism. Hell, Jets fans' pets' heads were even falling off. Then there was bliss. I think I played the appropriate sounder for that comment. Dano, appreciate you, my man. All right, one last call, and then I got to run. We're giving you a show on a Saturday and a Sunday for over an hour a pop. Find me any other content creator for any team that's giving you this much content in June. Rob, the Jet fan, closes out today. Rob, what's going on? Would you like to respond to Neil, who basically said you ate 3 food trucks worth of food on Thursday?
Well, Jake, let's be honest here. How good is Neil's memory? First of all, he didn't remember what day the party was at. That's first of all. Second of all, when he was doing that chant, if you listen, he goes over to your dad and goes, "Who's the quarterback on the 49ers?" And actually, Tommy yells out, "That's Purdy. It's Purdy." So how good is this guy's memory when he was always ahead of me on the line to get the food? So I don't know what he's talking about here.
Fair points, Rob. I can't disagree with you.
You know his memory is not that good. When you get to that age, you start to be a senior citizen.
Neil's job is to not remember things, but just to bring the energy, which he successfully did on Thursday.
I love you, Neil. I love you, buddy. But to comment on that moron Graziano, I mean, I tell you, you know me and my temper. If I was Scott there, Bart Scott, I would have leveled him. I would have said the hell with it, and I would have planted him right on the ground and took that stupid smirk off of his face. Because the whole shit that comes out of his mouth, Jake, I mean, come on. He went to 10 straight, OTAs. He misses 2 mandatory, and he's destroying them. These are 2 mandatory with no pads and no nothing. He informed the Jets way ahead of time. You know that. And yet, this is a story. I mean, it's so many haters. And I can't stand these haters and stuff. But you know what? We're going to have to shut them up on the field, like you said. Once we start winning on the field, this crap is going to be put to bed. And, granted that hopefully that everyone stays healthy, especially Aaron, and we prove these naysayers and shut them the hell up, Jay, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these people like bashing on him. He gives $35 million back for us to buy other free agents. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to get Reddick or any of these guys or Smith on the line, or Simpson, if Aaron didn't give back $35 million.
Well, not only that, too, like Tyron Smith is not choosing the Jets over all these other teams for $6.5 million guaranteed if they didn't have Aaron Rodgers. So the idea he hasn't contributed to winning, yeah, he got hurt. That's not his fault, but they don't have the roster they do if he didn't make the commitment to play for the Jets in the first place.
Correct. And I totally agree with you. And that's about it. I just wanted to say I need the love more here. Neil, be good to me, buddy. And Jake, I want to hear you, like when we get off, say one of the great calls, Rob from Glen Head.
Oh, baby.
I'm feeling sad, Jake.
Rob, one of the great calls we've had today. Rob, the Jet fan from Glen Head, Long Island. Thanks for coming out again Thursday too, Rob. Always great to see you. I love it. What a show. Hit the like button. Let me give you some Patreon shout outs. You sign up for Patreon to get your name in the intro. We just updated the list of names for June. And also, you get access to the Discord, and you support me for just $5 a month. Your money helps support this as my full-time job for the foreseeable future. Shout out to Alan Dodes, who signed up for the entire year. Steve C. Leslick, who signed up for the entire year. Our guy, Eric Colon, our 3 most recent Patreon subscribers. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Appreciate everyone for the support. JJ chimes in. Haven't read it. Gonna guess it's negative. Let's see. A-Rod was known as a bad teammate in Green Bay prior to COVID stuff. He's doing a lot of things different now, but that doesn't change his past. He did it to himself. He was not known as a bad teammate in Green Bay. That is unequivocally false. Go find me the player that badmouthed Aaron Rodgers as a teammate in Green Bay. You won't be able to find one. So good try. Lee Van writes in, the AR criticism just makes the locker room tighter, so I'll take that. I love it, Lee. Love the positivity. Amen. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button on your way out of here. I want to thank the audience for tuning in. Love, absolutely love the support we get even in June. Just wait till We have real football to discuss. It is going to be wild. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll probably have at least one show, maybe two. I'm doing radio in the evening, so it makes it a little tough, but I'll do my best. We'll have shows throughout all throughout next week. And just know, Jet fans, 30 days from right now, the New York Jets report the training camp. Get your shirt from HOMAGE. Shout out to Broadway Joe. HOMAGE shirts. Link in the description. Support our new sponsor. Thank you to everyone for their support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. Once again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Oh, my God. At the bell, Mike D's Nuts. Are you kidding me? $20 from Mike D's Nuts. Many of you are saying, who is Mike D's Nuts? And my answer is simply, you know exactly who this guy is. Right, Leanie?
Is this Mike D's Nuts?
I appreciate it, Mike. Mike apparently wrote in that YouTube won't let him gift memberships because he gifted too many this week. That's when you know you're a hardcore Asmaniac. Love you, Mike. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to look into your jerseys. Mike gave me the wrong address. I sent him 3 Jets jerseys to the wrong address, and now I have no idea if I'm going to be able to find where they went to. So that's another project for me later today. Anyway, shout out to everyone for their support. This has been the Jake Asman Show. Join the Patreon. If you're a diehard Asmaniac, you're already there. If you want to be an Asmaniac on Patreon, sign up today for just $5 a month. I'll talk to you guys soon. JETS, 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 Jets.
All right. I'll just wait. If nobody comes on. Hey, here's everybody coming to the Zoom meeting. We got Johnny Boy. Hey, Sarah. And where is everybody? I see a kangaroo, Addison's hat, and a fan, and what is? Oh, hey, New York Jets, Florida Ted, and Leanie's here, but she's not. Sarah's chair's turned around. Come on, Sarah, say hello. Where is everybody? I mean, this isn't even a Zoom meeting anymore. This is more like a bunch of security cameras. I mean, hey, the Florida's in the pool. Hey, look, a lake. I mean, does anyone want to talk?
Hold on. I had to end that. I just saw something that really irked me from JJ. Show's not over yet, folks. All right. JJ wrote in, Derek Carr played last year, unlike A-Rod. Are you a Jet fan celebrating Aaron Rodgers getting hurt? Are you saying Derek Carr playing somehow makes him better than A-Rod? Are you nuts, JJ? Derek Carr stunk last year. He stunk. And the Jets would have no chance of winning anything if he was their quarterback right now. So here's what I'm going to do, JJ. I'm back to send your ass to the hole. Happy Sunday. We'll see you in 24 hours.
Now look what you've done, JJ. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Aaron Rodgers strikes me as the type of person that preaches, do as I say, not as I do.
Aaron's on vacation. This is sort of what you would expect. Prickly, older, at times arrogant, disconnected quarterback.
Clearly, Aaron Rodgers prioritizing something above football. You have to be a little bit skeptical for somebody that only played 4 plays last year. Football is not the absolute top priority in his life.